I wish I could go to that school, Papa.
Oh. Well, I don't know, baby. It'd be awful nice, but they got rules. You gotta go to the school where you live.
Yeah, that's the rule. If you attend public school, if you can't afford to escape the government's horrible school monopoly. The movie was based on the book A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. It described a family that was desperate to give their kids a better education. The father suggests school hopping by using a house address that isn't theirs.
Why don't we maybe borrow it for now? Like, we make out it's ours. Then your address would be, 98 Hibbert Avenue. Starting right now. Then you see, they gotta transfer you from your old school. This ain't exactly according to the rules.
You mean it's wrong?
No, sir, not by a jugful it ain't wrong.
It ain't wrong. But Kelly Williams Bolar went to jail for it. She lives in Akron, Ohio, and her daughters were stuck in a school that rated second lowest in the state. Kevin Chavis is with the American Federation for Children, a group that's trying to change the rules to allow moms like Kelly to have a choice about where their kids go to school. So, Kelly, they sentenced you to 10 days in jail, which you served.
I served
What was
right
that?
at 10.
What was that like?
That was very difficult because I had never been to jail before, ever. When I was in the holding cell, I cried for like 12 hours straight. It was just...
And the other prisoners, did they say you're in here for what?
Yes, they did. They were, the one lady, she was like, well, what's the matter? Why are you crying so? And I explained to her, and she was like, really? She was like, that's like nothing, compared to what she had did.
And Kevin, what happened to her is crazy, and yet it's happening all the time. Connecticut, Kentucky, New York, Missouri, parents have been arrested.
Yeah, John, it's more than crazy. It's shameful, frankly. I mean, think about it. Every state has a compulsory attendance law, which means that you must send your child to a school. Yet they don't guarantee the quality of those schools. The experience Kelly had is not dissimilar to other experiences around the country where particularly low-income people of color are forced to go to schools that don't serve their kids. I mean, we've got 2,500 dropout factories, schools where 90% of the kids are going to drop out. We know it, and people are okay with that, and yet the government's going to prosecute someone who is desperate to get their kid in good school.
And why were you desperate?
I was desperate because I wanted equality and also safety.
And your father lives near a good school, so you just said, oh, let's tell him we live there.
Right. His school district was a very good school district, so he wanted me, to enroll them, and I did. I have 2 girls, and I enrolled them both there.
And in the Tree Grows in Brooklyn story, the parents who broke the rules are never caught. The daughter goes on to graduate from a good school, but Kelly was caught because now the government school monopoly, which says we're starving for money, but they spend more money to hire private detectives who follow kids and parents around.
The district hired a private investigator who shot this video of the kids waiting for a bus near their grandfather's house, along with their mother, Kelly Williams Bolar. They also followed her to her house in Akron, believing she lied to the district about where the kids live.
Which you did do.
I did lie because I wanted them at my father's school district because it was a good school district, and my father could watch them while I was attending university.
And would you do it again?
Absolutely not. It was too costly. I lost my father behind that.
He got investigated for that. They found some law breaking in his past, put him in jail.
They sentenced him to a year in the penitentiary, and he never came home. And he had never been in trouble. Yes, and he had never been in trouble.
What is so crazy and sickening about this? I mean, they made her to be and her father an enemy of the state. They made them out to be bandits. In that same city of Akron, Ohio, they had 11 out of 25 homicides were unsolved. And yet the venom and intensity that they went after this family because they were trying to get a good education for their kids, it's just something that's inexcusable.
What happened to Kelly is happening to more parents. The state of Pennsylvania caught this father sending his daughter to the so-called wrong school. They threatened him with 7 years in jail. So he signed a plea bargain that let him off with an $11,000 fine. And then he said this.
No family should face 7 years in jail, not even 1 day in jail, by providing education to a child in a public school?
I would think not. So was the prosecutor embarrassed? No.
It was a great day for justice, and it's a great day for everybody who pays school taxes.
But Kevin, what do you say? People pay school taxes at that school. He's protecting their money, he says.
It reminds me of Dr. King during the Civil Rights Movement. He said you have a moral, legal obligation to obey a just law, but you also have a moral obligation to disobey an unjust law.
How are your kids doing?
They're doing well now. Of course, they needed some counseling and whatnot after that. And
You were kicked out of the good school. You sent her to private school. Somebody sympathetic paid for it the first year.
Oh yes, her freshman year. My youngest, her freshman year, in high school. I had a anonymous gentleman in some part of New York wanted to help, so he paid for her freshman year, and then her sophomore year, he of course he wasn't able to do her sophomore year, so I sent her back because I thought he was, but he wasn't. So I had to work, and I'm still paying it off.
You're working from 6 p.m. till 2 a.m. doing customer service for a cable company.
Cables. That's my second job. My first job, I work in a high school with students with disabilities.
Increasingly, parents now push back against the state's monopoly. Here's a protest in Texas calling for school choice.
School choice now! School choice now!
Kevin, these are the real heroes today.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
They get vilified by unions.
Well, they do, but this is an example where the parents are leading the leaders. People like Kelly, people like Mr. and Mrs. Garcia, parents who go to these rallies, they're saying that we want something better than what the government schools are giving us.